Well, hello folks. Welcome to Kintail in the North West Highlands of Scotland, and what a wonderful, wonderful day it is. And that's the summit, I'm nearly there, of the mountain that translates to the Black Chest or the Black Coffin. Absolutely fabulous, what a day it's been, but the adventure didn't start here, so let's cut back to late last night, just before 10 PM, when I'm arriving at my destination. It was the middle of the winter holidays, and the initial plan was for us to head up, have a short day, and then stay in the van before meeting Jerry the next day for a mountain day in the hill. But the forecast had other ideas, and the day that I was meant to meeting Jerry, the weather was turning, with storms rolling in from the west with really mild air moving in. And the forecast had almost immediately changed also for the day before, which was tomorrow, for really, really nice conditions before the weather front moved in. So I managed to get a green light pass from my wife, and I headed north to the North West Highlands with a hill in mind that sits kind of isolated at the back of a group of hills, but it's a fantastic outing, and I was looking forward to heading up here in some nice wintry sunshine. Oh, good evening folks. Let me just turn this off. Hopefully you can see me alright. I wasn't going to do any bits to camera tonight, well, because I'm absolutely knackered. I've had a long drive up. I'm in Kintail and I've just arrived, and the forecast changed probably about midday today. I'm in the middle of my holidays, and I wasn't going to be going anywhere until tomorrow, but this is a wee weather window we've got, so I've got some brownie points from the boss, and I've driven all the way up. It's taken me about 3 hours to get up here from my home in Perthshire. It's a bit of a trek to get up here, but yeah, I'm here and I've come out of the van. There's no moon, and the stars in the sky are just amazing. I can see the Milky Way quite clearly spanning the sky. Orion's over here. I've got the plough on this side over where I'm going tomorrow, so it's absolutely lovely. So I'm going to go and settle into the van. I'll probably report back in the morning. I might take some pictures actually of the stars, providing the fog doesn't come in. There has been a lot of fog rolling about, but I'm hoping that stays for the morning actually, so I can get above it. And I've got 2 mountains to do tomorrow, which I'm quite excited about. It looks like there's still a bit of snow in the hills from what I can see from snowfall earlier in the week, so fingers crossed. But yeah, I'm going to stop yabbing now, get into the van and get myself all cozied up. It's not warm. So I retreated to the van. It was an icy night, but I was nice and cosy inside, and I got my head down, ready for a big walk the following day. At this time of year, sunrise isn't until nearer 9 o'clock, so I had a leisurely sleeping in the van, and eventually got some breakfast and opened up the door and got all my gear ready. Yeah, it was nice and frosty, it was looking good, and I set off on my way along the road initially before striking steeply uphill towards the first of 2 mountains of the day. Good morning folks, how are we? Don't know if I'm saying that to you, you've seen me about 30 seconds ago from last night. I was going to say, how are you this morning? Anyway, I have started and I am in Glen Shiel. I don't know if you'll make out behind me down here, the lights down there is the Cluny Inn, looking very festive with the frost on the ground and the snow in the background and the moon rising above it. It's very nice. And I had a good night's sleep last night. When I went out later on, the fog had come in, so I was kind of hoping there'd be fog down below me today, but it's cleared this morning. So no inversion, which is fine. I'm just glad that I can see the tops. The sunrise is due to happen soon, but the bad weather for a change is actually coming in from the east. There's low pressure moving in from the south, but it's spinning up in an anti-clockwise direction, so it's spilling in from the North Sea. And I'm right on the edge of the cloud here, so I don't think I'm going to get a spectacular sunrise. Oh man, I'm still half asleep. That's the problem I have in the van. It's so nice and cosy. I basically roll out of bed and I'm on the hill, so I don't have time to wake up properly. Anyway, up the first mountain. I've just stopped here because it's the start of the steep pool, which you'll see in just a minute. It's a right steep pool up to the ridge of this first mountain. It's a lovely ridge up and down. So I'll crack on and I'll report back in a wee while. Let's go. So to get onto the ridge, it is quite a steep pool, as you can see from here. This view doesn't over-egg it. It's a straight up from just about the roadside, but the views back down behind you over the loch and down towards Glen Shiel are just fabulous. And the good thing about this is you gain height quite quickly. So I thought if there was anything happening around sunrise, I'd be able to turn around and see it, but that weather front was just blocking the sun as it was rising. So I just got my head down and plodded on, and soon I was on the top of the ridge and meeting some snow, and the sun was just about peeking through that cloud, and my god, did it give some nice light. It was absolutely stunning. There's some deer just here, I don't know if you can see them. It's making their way up the hillside. Around the hillside, beautiful. Look at this. Wow, you can see the sun's coming up behind me as well. Absolutely glorious. And I'm heading along this ridge here, and over the back it's going to be a fantastic day, I think. Wow. What a morning. Look at these colours. Oh my god. Fan-bloody-tastic. Woo! Wow, the light, absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you can make it in the camera. The light is just hitting the mountains to the north of where I'm going. And I'm up now, this is me on the ridge. And you can actually see the three peaks I'm going over. There's the first one here, it's just a small one. It looks bigger because it's closer. Remember that scene from Father Ted with the cow? Close, far, anyway. Some of you might know what I'm talking about. The middle one is the first summit, it's a Corbett. Then behind it, you probably can't make it out in the camera, but it's a serrated top. It's the one I'm really looking forward to today. It's the Munro. We head up there, then we come back down the valley, but the light at the moment is just fabulous. Considering there wasn't much of a sunrise, it's maybe about half an hour after sunrise, it's catching the last of this cloud. This is the remnants of the last bit of the cloud before it moves away. Hopefully that'll move away and we'll get more sunshine as the day goes on, but yeah, what a day. There's deer below me in the glen. Whew, I am looking forward to this hike, so yeah, enough talking, let's get walking. So on I trekked, and this part of the walk is just lovely along a lovely grassy ridge. A few ups and downs, but the light, oh my god, the light, as you can see the sun was just starting to peek through those clouds and it was just amazing. Lots of contrast, just a superb morning. This undulating ridge is just a lovely walk, and its ups and downs are just made even better by the views, especially under a covering of snow. Anyway, after a wee bit of time, I was starting to reach the summit of the first mountain, and back. Wow, this is amazing. Oh, right, this is the first summit I'm on. I'm back. This is a Corbett, but the main attraction is basked in the sunshine. Ciste Dhubh over there, which means the Black Chest. And you can see on a day like today why it's called the Black Chest or the Black Coffin. You can see the crags to the right hand side are deep black, whereas the rest of the hillside is all snowy. I'm assuming that is the reason, but yeah, so this one here is a Corbett. It's been a lovely ridge coming up here, and the light is still fantastic, but the light today has just been amazing with this dark cloud and the sun coming up and the weather front moving away. Fantastic. So, a bit concerned, I've got a bit of a sore knee. I had a multi-day adventure over in Noida recently, and had a big pack on, and my knee was a wee bit sore, so it's a wee bit, needs like a bit of oil at the moment. But anyway, I'll see how I get on. I'm going to drop down and hopefully get to the top of Ciste Dhubh in a wee while. So let's have something to eat here and then we'll move on. I mean, the time is, it's just past 10 o'clock, so we've done not bad. I've been taking my time and just sort of wandering my way up. But what a fabulous place. Some of the best hill walking in Scotland is to be found round about here for sure. Right, enough talking. Let's get some food and then we'll crack on. Oh, I had my Scotch egg taking in the views of the surrounding mountains, and all these hills in Glen Shiel are pretty magnificent, and this is a good enough peak by itself for views, but I was heading on to a bigger second mountain, so after having my brunch it was time to set off and head down to the Bealach before the ascent up the highest point of the day. Lovely though, you can see my objective over there. I'm going to head down to this Bealach there, and then it's a long pull up to the summit, but I've even got the sunglasses on. It's glorious. Right, let's get down here, we'll report back at the Bealach. That's me down at the Bealach. Well, it's just over there, not far away. You can see it's quite a steep pull up. I think it's about 300 or 400 metres of ascent, but it's just lovely. There's hardly a breath of wind, and the sun, although it's still cold, the air temperature's cold, because there's no wind and the sun's coming down, it's actually quite nice. I've not had to put any more jackets on, which I'd usually have to do if it was a wee bit breezy or the weather was a bit different, but just perfect winter conditions really. So I'm going to head up here. I'll report back in a wee while. I was feeling a bit sorry for myself over the last few days, and I wasn't actually sure if I was going to come out today, and I'm so glad that I made the effort last night to drive up and get here, because these are days that live long in the memory, and that's what it's all about, isn't it really? So, right, enough gabbing. Let's see if I can get up to Ciste Dhubh. Woo! Look at that behind. Look at the light down the glen. Oh my god. Right, I suppose I need to shut up and stop making excuses to stop the ascent. Oh, but it's so nice. Right, let's go. Oh. I was so glad I'd made the effort to come up. Being up in the high mountains at any time, but especially in these sorts of conditions, just brings joy to the heart and makes all those bad things and down thoughts and feeling a bit moody with yourself disappear. I was glad to be high in the mountains with blue skies above and white ground beneath. It was lovely. Almost up onto the ridge now. Oh wow, look at that view. Down to the Five Sisters of Kintail, round to the Brothers, and that's the top. I've just come up, and that is where I'm going. That's the summit, just over there, so not far to go. Oh man, it's hard work in this snow, I tell you, right? Get a bit further up and I'll report back at the top. Woo, let's go. Look at this though, wow, woo-wee! Steep ground here, so I'm stopping to get my ice axe out. That was a bit hairy. I'll spin round. That's the bypass path. I came round, I didn't go over the top here. There's mild scrambling. I just didn't fancy it. It's been quite icy up here, so I came across the side there and there's a steep runoff. So I had to get the old ice axe out and just take my time coming across there, but I've made it now. I'm not sure if going over the top would have been any easier or any more tricky. It's always the thing about these bypass paths. Anyway, not far to go now. Just up here and we'll be there, so let's go. So most of the hard work has been done by this point, and the ridge heads up. It's a lovely ridge from this point on, with steep drop-offs to the right and to the left, and the views are just spectacular. But you still need to trudge on. Although most of the hard bits have been done, you still have a wee bit of ascent, and there's also a wee dip before the final steep pull to the summit of Ciste Dhubh. After completing that final steep ascent just before the summit, I was soon approaching the highest point of the day, a mountain called Ciste Dhubh, and what a fabulous viewpoint it is, especially when the weather's like this. I was glad to be here. What a stunning, stunning day. Oh, the summit. Yeah. Well, I'm glad to be here. This is the summit. Oh, just let me get myself sorted here. Ah, there we go. My knee's still a bit sore. Yeah, so this is the summit of Ciste Dhubh. What a place! And I've been really lucky. Well, when I say I've been lucky with the weather, I've been watching the weather, and I chose the North West Highlands because, as I said before, there was cloud and low pressure further east and further south, and I've caught it just right. There's still some cloud to the south and east, but to the north of me, and I'm almost right in the boundary. There's no cloud, it's lovely, the sun's out, there's no wind, so the weather forecast got it nearly spot on. But I did have to sort of monitor it. I used something called Mountain Weather Information Service. I used that gets updated late afternoon. I also use the Met Office mountain app and forecast. It's quite good, but I also, you'd be surprised to know, I always keep an eye on the BBC forecast. And I usually keep an eye on that the day before, because it's very good. Well, I find it very good at predicting where the weather fronts are going to be. Not so much a few days out, but certainly within 24 hours of you going, they're really good. So they got it spot on. They don't always get it right, but that's the three I mainly use. So anyway, I'm going to sit here and have a Scotch egg and just enjoy the sunshine before the long, long hike out. Well, what a wonderful peak this is. I think this is the fourth time I've been up it. And the last time I was here was a manky, stormy day with Jerry, and there was lots of soft, deep, wet, thawing snow, nothing frozen. It was horrible. It was a long walk out. Opposite of today. It's lovely today. I was going to tell you a wee story. The first time I did this, I did it with my brother. years ago, maybe 20 years ago, and we were out for a multi-day adventure, and we were going to be heading up to Strathfarrar. There's another story about broken down cars in Strathfarrar, which I'll keep for another day. But anyway, I'd booked the accommodation up in, I think it was Tomatin or somewhere like that, and for the day after doing this hill and the Three Brothers, we'd booked into the Cluny Inn. And we arrived early, and we came up here, and we went on and did 3 more Munros. And by the end of the day, we were knackered. It was lashing it down with rain, and there's quite a long road walk back to the car which we'd left at the Cluny Inn, and we didn't get home till about 9-10 o'clock at night. And we hadn't checked in the morning because we'd left early. We thought we'll check in when we get back down off the hill. Anyway, we went to check in at 10 o'clock at night, and they claimed that they didn't have our booking. To which we were flabbergasted because we had a note of it. And anyway, I think what had happened was that I think they thought we weren't turning up, and it was the middle of the school holidays, both the Scottish and the English school holidays. And long story short, we had the only accommodation we managed to get was a way back in Aviemore, which was about a 70-mile trip. So we had to go all the way down there before heading all the way up to, well, that's Glen Affric just down there for the next day in Strathfarrar. Anyway, it's just a wee story about the first time I came here. But this is just wonderful. I am going to pack up my bags. I'm going to donder down. My knee is quite sore. I've taken some painkillers, so I'm just going to take my time. There's a few steep bits here, and that they keep my sacks out for that traverse. So let's get packed up. Let's get down off the hill. I'll report back later. Having spent quite a bit of time on the summit, just soaking in the views, it was time for me to get the backpack back on and start the descent. My knee was quite sore, and I knew it was going to take me longer to descend the mountain. I just had to be careful and not do anything to worsen the pain in the knee, so I plodded my way down, and I was soon heading down the mountain with the black chest or Black Coffin behind me. It was lovely. It certainly wasn't a day to rush anyway, so I was quite happy that I had a sore knee slowing me down. More excuses to stop and take in the wonderful, wonderful views of Glen Shiel. That's me making my way gingerly down, and on my way to go into the shade now. You can see the sun's just about to disappear over the mountains. It's only about 2 o'clock, if that. But we're still in December, so the days are short. But what a day it's been, look at this. Absolutely beautiful. That's the Corbett. I was up there. You can see there's actually a wee bit of fog now down in the glen, and I'm heading down that glen there, back round to the car. So I'll be another couple of hours, but just thought I'd stop, say goodbye to the sunshine, and head down. So I shall report back in a wee bit. Just going to sit here and soak up the last rays. Goodbye, sun. Woo. Oh, that's me back at the road. Most dangerous part of the day. It's beautiful though. It's not actually too far to the car. My knee's giving me jip. I'm going to have to rest that for a few weeks, I think, but I'll take it. A sore knee and enjoying a day like today. Wow, but look at this. Look at this view. Wow, and the mist still over the loch down there. Absolutely glorious. And there's the van. Right, let's get by. Woo! Ooh, lovely. It's still beautiful down here. That's me back. I only have a coffee, sandwich, crisps, chocolate, and then about a 3.5 hour walk home. But lovely. Got a lot of way to finish the day, and what a day it's been. Absolutely stunning. So if you've made it this far, thanks for staying with us. Thanks for watching. As always, stay safe out there, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Right, some coffee.